After the death of Moses, God appoints Joshua to lead Israel into the Promised Land. This is not just a leadership change. It is a moment filled with uncertainty and responsibility. God reassures Joshua repeatedly, commanding him to be strong and courageous. The strength Joshua needs is not physical, but spiritual, rooted in obedience to God's word. He is told to meditate on the law continually so that his decisions will align with God's will. Joshua responds with readiness, organizing the people and preparing them to move forward together in faith. Joshua sends 2 spies into Jericho, where they are protected by Rahab. She risks her life to hide them, declaring her belief that God has already given Israel the land. Her faith stands in contrast to the fear of her own people. Rahab asks for mercy for her family, and the spies promise protection, marked by a scarlet cord. This chapter shows that faith and redemption are available to anyone who trusts in God. God confirms Joshua's leadership by performing a miracle. As the priests step into the Jordan River carrying the ark, the water stops flowing, allowing the entire nation to cross on dry ground. This moment strengthens the people's faith and reminds them that God is actively leading them. 12 stones are taken from the river and set up as a memorial. This act ensures that future generations will remember God's power and faithfulness. The story of deliverance is meant to be passed down, keeping faith alive. Before battle, Israel renews its covenant with God and celebrates Passover. This is a moment of spiritual preparation, shifting focus from survival to purpose. Joshua encounters the commander of the Lord's army, reminding him that God is the true leader in the battles ahead. God's strategy for Jericho defies human logic. The people march silently around the city for days. On the 7th day they shout, and the walls collapse. This victory demonstrates that obedience brings results beyond human understanding. Rahab and her family are saved. Israel's defeat at Ai reveals the consequences of hidden sin. Achan's disobedience brings trouble upon the entire community. This chapter highlights the seriousness of sin and the importance of accountability. After dealing with sin, Israel returns to Ai and wins through God's guidance. Joshua leads the people in reaffirming their commitment by reading the law aloud. Victory is restored when obedience is restored. These chapters recount multiple victories as Israel takes the land. Mistakes are made, such as the treaty with the Gibeonites, but God remains faithful. In one of the most remarkable moments, the sun stands still, allowing Israel to complete a victory. These chapters show that God is actively involved in the battles of his people.
The land is divided among the tribes, fulfilling God's long-standing promise. Each tribe receives its inheritance, and special cities are designated for refuge and worship. This section emphasizes completion. God has done exactly what he promised. A misunderstanding nearly leads to conflict between tribes, but communication reveals the truth and restores unity. This moment shows the importance of seeking understanding before judgment. Joshua, now old, reminds the leaders of God's faithfulness and warns them to remain obedient. He emphasizes that turning away from God will lead to loss, but faithfulness will bring continued blessing. Joshua gathers all the people and recounts their history, reminding them of God's faithfulness from beginning to end. He challenges them to make a decision to serve God fully. The people commit, and a covenant is renewed. Joshua's life ends with a legacy of faith and leadership.